Well, it is Sunday morning and it looks like it's gonna be a sunny day. I don't see any clouds right now in the sky, which means it'll be a good day for shooting reflected light if the weather stays like this. And so I am heading to the location that I found the other day, and I've not actually been at that location and seen reflected light there, but just the way that the Canon's configured, it seems like it would be pretty decent for it. So I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna set my camera, I'm gonna find a composition, and hopefully I'll get the light I'm looking for. Well, I've made it to my shooting location for the morning, and the skies are still blue, which is good. I don't know for certain if this area gets reflected light. I'm really hoping it does, because my subject is right over here. So I have this tree, but beyond that tree, I have this really nice wall of reflected light. It has this kind of curved shape to it, which is really nice. And my composition is pretty straightforward. I'm using a 300mm normal lens on my camera there. And the bottom of the composition is gonna be right about here, so it allows some of that wash in the foreground. One side's gonna be right there, and the other side is gonna be right there. And then the top should be right about where the orange area kind of ends there. So kind of highlighting the sort of circular shape of all that nice desert varnish. But I don't know for certain if this area is gonna get reflected light. I'm really hoping it will, because I'm thinking that the sunlight is gonna hit a sandstone wall back behind the camera, as well as maybe the sun will hit the back of this right here and then kind of send some nice warm light into the scene. But in any case, I got my composition set, focus is set. Just gotta wait for the good light. I've been here for about an hour now, and the light is starting to build just a little bit. There's just a little bit of a glow starting to happen, because what's happening is the sun is hitting a big sandstone cliff back behind the camera, and that's bouncing light into the scene. It's a very subtle glow right now, it's very faint. I don't know how strong it's gonna end up being, but my camera is ready to go. And at some point, I'm going to expose a safety shot just to make sure I get something for this scene, and then I'll wait for the light to get even better. At this point in time, I've metered the exposure at about 10 seconds at f/45. It doesn't count for reciprocity failure. And I'm sure as the light builds, I'm gonna have an even faster shutter speed, but it's still really clear, no clouds overhead, and the wind is calm. So everything's looking good so far, so we'll see what happens. So I ended up exposing a total of 4 sheets of film, 3 of Velvia and then 1 of Kodak Ektar. I did the sheet of Ektar at the end just because some of the areas in that wall up top started getting a little brighter than Velvia could handle, but I figure Ektar can handle it no problem. But I'm feeling really good about what happened today. But now it's gonna be time to head back to my truck, grab some breakfast, and then see about maybe shooting some other subjects I scattered out a couple days ago. It'd be awesome if I can expose some more film today, but I'm pretty sure at some point I'm gonna have to load some more film, which I don't like doing, but I do like doing it when I'm exposing film on some cool subjects. So, time for breakfast. My timing was pretty darn good this morning, because we now have some high clouds, and that's going to kill the reflected light. We'll have to see if the other shots I would like to shoot today, if they're going to be shootable. But I'm just going to enjoy some breakfast here, kind of relax in the shade, and then at some point maybe go for a hike today. I don't know, we'll see.
So
After grabbing some breakfast, I decided to kind of wander around a little bit. I didn't end up going for a hike because, quite honestly, I'm kind of tired, kind of worn out after 7 days of just scrambling around all day long and finding subjects, but I feel really good about the photo that I shot this morning. And as I was driving around a little bit after shooting that photo, I did end up finding another subject. And it's the same scene I photographed last year, but I wasn't really happy with the photo from last year. I think it had to do with the fact the light wasn't quite what I was hoping for, but also the composition just wasn't quite as dynamic as I was liking. So I did have a very brief moment where I was able to expose a sheet of film on that. I don't have any video from it just because it was a very time-sensitive situation. I was in the shadow of the cliff, and very quickly the sun was moving, and the sunlight was kind of going to be right where I was pretty soon. I was kind of angling up towards the sun, so I didn't have a lot of time to think, but I did set up a composition which was different than last year. I used my 600mm lens, and I have a photo where it's just like this tree at the very, very bottom of the frame, and then nothing but cliff going up from above it, which we'll see. It's a little experimental, it's a little hasty, but could be kind of a cool photo. So the skies now have gotten a little overcast, and not a lot, but just there's enough high clouds up there where it's kind of going sunshade, sunshade, kind of alternating there. But I do have 2 potential afternoon photos I could shoot if the skies kind of clear up and stay blue, which I think they might. But until then, I think I'm just going to relax here in the shade of this cottonwood tree and feel pretty good about what I've done so far today, exposing film on 2 different subjects. So starting to feel pretty good about the work I've done on this trip, and it's been a lot of work so far. But I'm just going to keep relaxing here in the shade and see what happens in the afternoon. Well, several hours have passed and the skies are starting to clear out, and this is pretty much what the weather forecast showed would happen. It showed that from about like 4 o'clock all the way through sunset and well into the night, it's supposed to be clear skies. And the high clouds are kind of moving away, which is pretty nice. But I went ahead and set up for the photo that I kind of found yesterday. And so I got my 600mm lens on the camera there, and my subject is that tree right there. Now, it's not as clean looking of a tree as some of the other ones I've shot, but it still has some cool character to it, sort of a tortured look to it. And it's going to get some nice reflected light because there's a cliff face back up that way that's getting full sun that's reflecting into it. So there's just a few little clouds overhead that I need to wait for to kind of go away, and I'll get my full reflected light. Hopefully the wind stays calm because my camera is not the most stable when I have the 600mm lens on it because it's racked out pretty far. But I got a good feeling that I'm going to be exposing some more film this afternoon. So my window of reflected light has passed. The big cliff face that catches afternoon sunlight is now in shade, and there's still some clouds up there too. So that one sheet of film that I exposed to the scene will be the only one. And I'm really hoping that I managed to shoot it when the light was good, because I don't really know for sure. I'll know when I get the film back from the lab. And on the topic of film, today's been a pretty crazy day, having shot 3 different subjects, and I exposed 7 different sheets of film, which is pretty awesome. Overall on this trip, I've shot 6 different subjects, and even if half those turn out, I think I'll be very, very happy with the results. Because I'm getting pretty worn out, I'm getting pretty tired, and I'm really looking forward to heading home. So this will be my last day for this trip. Really, really early tomorrow morning, I will head home. Probably about a 14-hour drive or so, so it's gonna be quite a while. But I just want to thank everyone for joining me on this trip, and I'll see you all around next time. ad-free content and want to help me live my dream. Voluntary contribution of just $24 a year helps keep my gas tank full and my film freezer stocked. For more information on how to support me and my work, please visit the donation section of my website at bedhorn.com/donate. I also have books and prints available on my website. You can find a direct link down below in the show notes. Thanks in advance for your support.